Thanks for watching the video. So today we're in London, the 8th of February 2012, and I'm spending a few moments with Jeff Soul. How are you doing, Jeff?
I'm good.
It's great to finally meet you in person.
Yeah, the same.
Yeah.
Look forward to it.
Fantastic. So, okay, let's kick off. It's an interview about EuroInvestor mainly. Jeff, you've got 25 years experience in the equity research space. So could you please introduce yourself maybe very briefly and talk about EuroInvestor?
Sure. So I started in the industry back in '86 and have, as you said, done equity research for the institutional client segment for 25 years. And after that, I back in 2009 joined Saxo Bank to develop their equity platform and their whole equity offering, including equity research. And then I at the same time joined the board of EuroInvestor, which Saxo owned a third of at that time. And then in June 2011 I took over the CEO position of EuroInvestor because we basically wanted to get much more out of that according to the visions we have for social communities in the financial space.
Fantastic, yeah. EuroInvestor, it's quite old, one of the very first platform of its kind back in 1997, if I'm correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So one of your key jobs is to take it to the next level, I guess, in the era of social media and engagement.
Exactly. So basically, it was founded. EuroInvestor was founded in '97 by two brothers, and they are still on the board of EuroInvestor and also big shareholders in the company. And you can say they were one of the first movers on the internet with a financial community. And EuroInvestor is now one of the biggest in Northern Europe with 1.6 million unique users every month and more than 35 million page views. So it is a big community. We have websites in 8 countries, but we own some great portal names or domain names like US Investor, Asia Investor, and all those kind of things. So we are ready to become global. And basically, since Saxo Bank stepped in as a shareholder in EuroInvestor, the product development pace was just not where we wanted it to be. We had much bigger ambitions with it, and that's why we have now kind of taken control of the company. And what is our vision? Well, basically, we think that private investors going forward, they don't have any trust in financial advisors at a financial institution. They want to speak to peers about where to invest, how to take care of their personal finances. That's who they trust, and they like spending time in the communities. That's where they get their market updates on prices, news. That's where they have competitions and all kind of things, have their portfolio tools. And so we want to provide the best tools and the best community functionalities for the retail audience. Now, when we develop that, we have a global strategy, and organically, this could take a long time. It doesn't have to. If you are successful virally on the web, then it can go fast, as we've seen in a few places. But we don't want to only wait for that, so we will basically develop all these tools and partner up with leading media players in different geographies.
Okay, well, it's very clear actually, very exciting project as well, yeah?
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that in more details in the next few minutes, sorry. If I step back a bit, so 25 years equity research, so you're extremely experienced in that space. And can you talk briefly about your first encounter online and online gaming maybe in 2003? Just to understand a bit the process and your beliefs in that digital and engaging world, yeah?
So I was, back in 2003 I was asked to join a community which was called Media Makers, which was actually the biggest online gaming community, computer gaming community in the world. And I was asked to come in to kind of contribute with all the financial expertise, the M&A expertise and all that stuff. And so that's where I first got acquainted with communities and how that works. So when I had the opportunity to join Saxo Bank back in 2009, where I could both make use of my financial expertise and my community expertise. Those kind of best of all worlds, in my view.
You're well equipped actually to take the platform to the next level, I believe. Yeah.
I hope so.
That touches an area of gamification. It's all about making it entertaining for people to invest, for instance. We talk about peer-to-peer recommendations as well. Yesterday, I just came back, as a matter of fact, today from Finovate. So it's a great day about innovations in online finance. Some of those innovations in the wealth/investment space. So again, how important is it? So that's peer recommendation. And what's your vision for your investor actually? What it is that you're going to implement to unleash the potential for peer-to-peer recommendations?
So right now we have a pretty big community where people actively are discussing whatever they like, but primarily financially related stuff. And that community functionality is going to be improved quite dramatically. We want everybody to be able to basically get track records according to how clever they are, according to their portfolio performance, according to competitions. Because in communities there's a lot of people who would like to be famous and stand out, they have big egos and all that. So that's a big part of making the community work. We also have, together with Saxo Bank, our own trading platform called the EuroTrader, where you can basically trade 26 stock markets around the world, all FX crosses, commodities, CFDs, index trackers, you name it, and also options. And so our community members, they can basically go into the trading platform and at the same time be in the community. Now, our vision is a lot of people, they actually prefer to stay in the community and do their trades from the community. So that's where we are heading. So we will bring the trading functionality to the community instead of the community members having to go to a trading platform. And we want to do that for any broker. So we are not a Saxo community. We are a neutral community. And in fact, one of the number one broker in the Nordic region, they have already integrated that in the EuroInvestor site, so that you can, when you look at a stock, you can just click on buy, sell, and you are into that trading platform. But we want to take that to the next level, so that it's a completely seamless experience for the community members.
It's important to say it, to clarify that. It's great, yeah. Again, so many topics. Let's talk about we said people want to be famous. Which is true, actually. So personal branding is important, yeah. But people need to trust. So user of your platform or community, I need to trust you, and maybe I'll copy you if I think you're great, yeah. So what do you plan to do? How do you plan to bring the trust onto the platform? Which kind of criteria would be relevant, or how are you going to increase that level of confidence?
So today, with the limited tools that are available, the trust is built by basically following the people in the community in the day-to-day discussions, and people vote for each other's blogs to say we really think this is great work or not so great. And the community members who have most votes, they of course have some credibility. Now that will be increased, that visibility, so that people can actually gain credibility through educational programs where they can have stars and stripes on their shoulders. We will enable people to share their portfolios, and thereby you can track their performance. We will have various competitions which will also demonstrate who's good at picking the right asset classes for the right times. So all these things combined basically opens up for creating a lot of visibility on who's good and who's not, and who's worth following. And once you have that, we will definitely also have copy trading.
That's that was my next question. So thank you for the transition. Exactly, because it's good to be famous on your platform or recognized as a leader. But then, what's next? I mean, what's the next step? Which could be copy trading, exactly.
Yeah,
and other platforms have started to do that and created a good service there. Yeah.
In the FX space, we do see some people who have developed copy trading, and we think that's the way to go, and we will definitely also go down that route, but not stick to the FX world. We will do it in all the asset classes. So that's definitely a direction we're heading into as well.
Okay.
And you can also imagine that the people who allow you to follow their portfolios or their advice, that they can make a business out of it themselves, just as Apple makes in iTunes. So
the reward is important here. What is it for me as well?
Yeah,
as a good trader.
Some people want to share it because of their ego, but if they can also make money out of it, probably more people will be willing to share it.
So you're working on a kind of revenue model, the
Absolutely.
generation. Okay, yeah, because that's going to be key in the success of your platform, of course. Yeah. I've been a huge fan of LinkedIn since 2003. I'm one of the 27th, I think, 1,000 first members. So
Wow.
anyway, do you envision that your platform becoming a kind of LinkedIn for investors, savvy investors, and they would share their public profile on your platform because they're proud of it? And
Our work title is more to become the Facebook of finance.
Facebook of finance, even
So,
even more engaging on daily basis.
So it's more engaging. It's bigger and as global as LinkedIn. I think they're equally global, but I think when it comes to what's the audience, I think you're right that the LinkedIn audience is more relevant than the Facebook audience.
Well, I mean, it's two different things, but
Yeah.
Facebook, it's on daily basis. I guess you could accomplish that because there's the gamification aspect, so it's quite addictive when you start betting and following people. So I guess you're probably right talking about Facebook more than LinkedIn, but that's an interesting point. Yeah. So we talked about trust. Trust. You've got personal investors. Will you have like very famous traders tomorrow on the platform, or more and more of them, like professional ones? Do you see that happening potentially?
Yeah, I think this could easily be a way for professional fund managers to promote their product if they wanted to share their portfolios in the community. Then instead of you have copy trading, maybe they would actually give you bigger amounts in a portfolio management arrangement. And I definitely also see a lot of our tools as being very relevant for the professionals. We can talk about this new product we're launching today later, but we're actually launching a product called Cockpit, which I would say is Bloomberg for the masses.
Okay, I like that. We're going to cover it in a short demo as well.
So I think we are going down that route, and the equity research products that you can get through subscriptions in our community very soon, they are definitely professional caliber products. We have already showed them to a lot of pros, and this is stuff that they pay $2,000 per month to get in Bloomberg, and
you would make it accessible to the masses. That's another key differentiator potentially for your platform. That's again another key point there. It's one thing to have a great platform and for the masses, so something very intuitive, doing copy trading and so on and so forth. You need to increase brand awareness. You need to drive adoption of the platform as well, right? People are already interacting somewhere else. You talked about Facebook, which is an important one, right? What's your social media integration strategy? When I say that, how do you plan to integrate with other networks, especially the famous ones, or the most used ones like Facebook and or Twitter? What's your vision on that?
So obviously we have the almost usual sharing functionalities built in everywhere. So that's one thing. I think our hope and ambition is that Cockpit actually will be the viral growth machine for EuroInvestor, because what's special in here is that there is a
we'll see that in a sec, but yeah.
But basically you can create, tailor-make the screens however you like them, and you can then take that screen and share it with your friends, share it in the communities, and when people click on the screen, it goes live. And we think that there's plenty of communities where basically the provider decides how should your screen look, how do you follow financial markets. Here you determine, and when you have created something you think is the best way in the world to follow whatever asset class or stock market or whatever, and you share it with your friends, I think that's what would be our viral growth machine.
Okay. So a kind of widget or a application, fully customizable and shareable as well.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having some kind of application within Facebook and tapping into your community somehow and the gamification side of things, you know, contests, relevant, so not just fun things, you know, irrelevant and not finance focused, but you know, your experience within Facebook, at least to drive adoption and increase awareness of the product. We can imagine that.
Absolutely.
In 2012.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It is on the roadmap for 2012. I would say for the second half.
Okay. Any exclusives? So name of the product, or I'm trying. You can't blame me there.
No, but we do because we have our own trading platform. Obviously, we can do real trading competitions, and that's something that people really enjoy, and they're really hard to manage. So we can offer that for our partners, our media partners around the world, all financial players. So that's one thing. The other thing is we have some other really interesting competition-like things coming up, which will both be very engaging and also create some unique tools for the market. So I don't want to disclose how that will exactly be right now.
Okay. Just a few more questions, right? One is around Twitter.
Yeah.
We know Twitter, it's very valuable to connect content and data and people, but there's lots of noise, right? I've always said years ago already that the value is to get rid of the noise, to be an established player in finance, for instance, and provide some kind of additional layer, identifying the best conversations. We're talking big data here a bit, which is a great topic. And recently, in the last few weeks, we had lots of innovations coming from the likes of Bloomberg and Reuters. Bloomberg launched an API to be able to tap into the data, and Reuters launched last week Social Pulse, I think, like a kind of social media dashboard, which basically just get rid of the noise and present conversations about, you know, finance. We've got stock tweets in the US, which is an interesting one. So again, which role will EuroInvestor play there? Is there a role for you, or no? The key focus maybe, but the key focus is really on the interface there and your current platform.
Yeah, I think we will enable those functionalities through our discussion board when it gets more sophisticated. I'm a big believer in the semantic web, where you basically have the massive amounts of information on the internet sorted according to what you're interested in. And there's a lot of interesting things you can do to have basically the computers monitoring the world internet for you, so that you always know what's going on in the space that you want to know what's happening. So we have a lot of ideas there. I don't think we will make massive progress on that in 2012. That's slightly longer down the road.
So you flagged it in your 5-year strategy,
absolutely.
But then it's going to come at a later stage. Well, we need to prioritize, as we discussed before the interview. It's all about prioritizing.
Yes.
That's why it's important to get the feedback from your community as well. So I hope that you've got some kind of voice of the customer program and co-creation almost, or to validate your roadmap.
Yeah, we actually have so in our discussion board, our users are very active in promoting and criticizing what we do and what we should do. But we also have a automatic feedback system where basically the users, they come with their product suggestions, and the other users they vote on which ideas they think are the best, and that helps us prioritize the right things. But to be honest, so that's one part of our product development. If you want to create tomorrow's big thing, you probably don't get it from the crowd, because the crowd is a crowd and they share mainly common knowledge.
That's a good point, actually. We say the power of the crowd, but you can use that to confirm, to validate actually new features you plan to introduce. I agree with you, yeah. Not all the answers are coming from people because they don't have the knowledge, or they can't step back, or they don't really understand the whole industry or space. So it's totally relevant. That's a good topic for discussion. Yeah. Last but not least, we talked about digital, social, communities, peer-to-peer recommendations, quite a lot, so thanks for that again. Mobile. Yeah. We have to talk about mobile, right? Mobile, so the experience on tablets, on smartphones, especially again there's a kind of real-time type of situation, and it's addictive. What's your strategy, just in a couple of minutes, on mobile and especially tablets maybe? Do you see tablet more important than smartphones? Or no, the convenience, it's better to have, to provide an experience on smartphone first?
I think it depends on which functionality you're looking for. So to keep you informed on the road, the mobiles, the smartphones is the place to be. If you want to do more deep drilling and do more informed stuff, analysis stuff, then the tablets are superior. Now, where are we today? So we just launched this weekend actually our new website, which is the first time in 8 years that you have kind of a new platform from EuroInvestor. So we've done 2 in a week.
Wow.
Now, and that is actually iPad enabled. Does it have all the cool functionalities that you get on an iPad? No, not yet. So we think that there are other people out in the world who are better than us in developing the mobile applications, and we are going to get somebody to do that for us. And it is on the roadmap for 2012.
So iPad, iPhone as well?
It's iPad, iPhone, Android tablet, and Android mobile phones, and also Windows mobile. So those are the 3 big things in our world. BlackBerry, I don't really think we're going to develop anything for that.
Okay, so the RIM, no, we discarded that. iPhone, iOS versus Android, what's your perception there? I think you're a fan of Apple.
Not really. Really, if you came to me with a great Galaxy, I would probably enjoy that as well. Okay. So I think Android will become bigger, and maybe even Windows will become bigger, because they are open sources. And that's going to be Apple's problem in terms of penetration. But having said that, they have a huge user base, and that's going to keep Apple as a very important product to be available on. So for a small regional company like we still are in EuroInvestor, I think the app stores is a fantastic place to become global very quickly. So it is, we put a lot of effort there.
Okay, well, thanks for that. Yeah. Okay, so thanks a lot for your time.
My pleasure.
I can't wait to see more activities on the social media front, so Facebook, Twitter, and so on. So at the moment, it's pretty still starting, so pretty limited. But I can't wait to see that happening and to see the next evolutions on your great platform and community. Then, thanks, Jeff, and we're going to shoot another interview in the next few minutes on your new product, Cockpit. But best wishes for 2012, and see you soon on Visible Banking.
Thank you very much, and thanks for taking the time.
Thanks a lot.